In the heart of the vast African savanna, under the golden sun that painted the land in rich hues of amber and gold, there lived a mighty lion named Jabari. He was strong, fearless, and respected by all. His roar could be heard far and wide, a sign of his power. Every animal in the kingdom admired him, and none dared to challenge him. But for all his greatness, Jabari had a secret. He was afraid of looking weak. Jabari always carried himself with pride. He never let anyone see him struggle. If he was hurt, he hid it. If he was tired, he pushed through. He believed that a king must always be strong, never showing pain or fear. The pride depended on him. He could not afford to be vulnerable. But deep inside, Jabari felt something was missing. He often watched the gazelles as they danced under the golden sunset. They looked so free, so full of joy. Their movements were effortless, as if they had no worries. But he dismissed it as foolishness. Lions do not dance, he told himself. Lions roar. They hunt. They rule. One season, a terrible drought struck the land. The rivers dried up, the grass turned yellow, and food became scarce. The pride looked to Jabari for guidance. They were hungry and thirsty, and their eyes pleaded for answers. But for the first time, he did not have a solution. He was worried, but he could not show it. Instead, he stood tall and silent, waiting for a miracle. One evening, an old tortoise named Kito approached him. Kito was slow but wise, and many animals came to him for advice. "Jabari," Kito said in a calm voice, "even the strongest tree bends in the wind. Strength is not about standing tall all the time. It is about knowing when to bend and when to rise again." Jabari frowned. "I am a lion. I do not bend." Kito smiled. "Then perhaps it is time for the lion to learn to dance." Jabari did not understand what Kito meant, but he was curious. He followed the old tortoise to a hidden oasis, a place where water still flowed and the trees were green. There he saw something amazing. Animals of all kinds, zebras, antelopes, even birds, were moving together in harmony. They swayed and jumped, twirling in a rhythm that seemed to come from the earth itself. They were not afraid. They were simply enjoying the moment. Jabari hesitated. "What if they laugh at me? What if I stumble?" Kito chuckled. "What if they see your courage? What if you teach them that true strength is not in being unshaken, but in embracing every part of yourself?" Jabari took a deep breath. He stepped forward. His big paws moved clumsily at first. He felt awkward and out of place. But then something changed. He stopped thinking about how he looked. He let himself move with the rhythm. He felt the wind, the earth, and the energy of those around him. And for the first time in his life, he felt truly free. At first, his pride was shocked when they heard what he had done. "Our king danced?" they whispered. Some thought it was foolish. But then something incredible happened. They saw a change in their leader. He was still strong, still powerful, but there was a lightness in his spirit. He was no longer just a ruler. He was one of them. He understood their fears, their struggles, and their joys. One by one, the lions joined him at the oasis. At first, they were hesitant, just as Jabari had been. But as they moved, they felt something powerful. They felt the unity of their pride, the joy of letting go, and the freedom of embracing their true selves. Through dancing, Jabari learned a lesson he had never understood before. True strength lies in vulnerability. By allowing himself to be seen not just as a mighty king, but as a lion with doubts and dreams, he became a better leader. His pride followed him not because they feared him, but because they trusted him. He also learned the importance of adaptability. The drought had threatened his pride, and his usual ways of ruling were not enough. But by opening his mind to new wisdom, he found a new way forward. And most importantly, Jabari understood that joy and freedom come from letting go. He had spent his whole life believing that strength meant control, but in the end, it was in surrendering to the rhythm of life that he found true power. From that day on, Jabari ruled differently. He still roared when he needed to, he still fought when it was required, but he also laughed, listened, and danced. And in doing so, he built a pride that was not just strong, but deeply connected. Life is not so different from the Savanna. Just as Jabari feared looking weak, many of us go through life wearing a mask of strength. We hesitate to ask for help, to admit when we are struggling, or to show our true emotions. We think that to be respected, we must always have the answers, always be in control. But true strength is not about never faltering, it is about learning to rise again. Just as Jabari resisted change, we often resist the unknown. We cling to old ways, afraid to adapt. But life, like the Savanna, is unpredictable. The strongest people are those who learn to bend without breaking, to embrace growth, and to find new ways forward when challenges arise. And just as Jabari learned to dance, we too must learn to let go. We spend so much time trying to control everything, our image, our future, the way others perceive us. But real freedom comes when we surrender to the moment, when we stop fearing judgment and start embracing joy. So, ask yourself, what are you afraid to show the world? Where in your life are you holding back? Maybe, just like Jabari, it's time for you to let go. Maybe it's time for you to dance, because in that dance, you might just find your greatest strength. If you find this story useful, kindly motivate us by subscribing to this channel, like and share, and also press the notification icon to get notified anytime we upload new stories. You can also share your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you for watching.